There it goes. Go! Go, go, go! Go!
I need to change that.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sawmill and Forestry Roundtable. This is number 20. It's hard to believe we've had 20 shows already. I'm going to start out by introducing the panel. You have Tim from Two Brothers Outdoors. You have John Davidson from Davidson's All Natural Gym. You have Craig Quilter from the Kilted Sawyer. You have Matthew and Eric from the Bearded Lumber, right? And we have K&J Lumber, Kyle and Kendall.
We got John
John Davidson and John Chapman. There you go.
Boy,
I knew he was in there
out.
somewhere. Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for joining us. We're going to have a great show tonight. I think K&J Lumber is going to bring some real enlightenment to the sawmill industry. But first, we're going to go to John Chapman for a 15-minute Tech Corner. And this is a new segment we're going to put in our show every month. So, John, you have your subject outlined for you. You ready to go? That's a yes.
Yes. All right. I'm just going to cover some things that I did a little research, compiled some notes. This is about ways to promote your business and to sell items. It's a very light overview of some of this. I've got John, if you could go ahead and share my screen, my second screen. There we go. So this is kind of some business and products promotion. This list is just some ideas, and if you have any, feel free to email me at johnc@sawmillsandlumber.com. So out of priority, this is my opinion. Not a single one of these are mandatory, but they all do work together, and I think they are all essential. The first thing is you need your own website for your business, preferably something like yourbusinessname.com. Not everybody's going to have that. And so you can actually go, well, I'll get to there in a minute. Yeah. The next thing is your Google business profile, which I think this is absolutely essential. Next is YouTube, which is the largest search engine. They're now promoting new users. They're promoting more authentic, less polished videos. So if you don't have a YouTube channel yet, it's going to be easier to get on and get a little bit of a following. There's directories, and directories are simply websites that contain
Easy.
a list. And for instance, sawmillsandlumber.com is a list of sawmills. There's a lot of them out there. Places to sell your lumber, obviously the usual Facebook Marketplace.
We're in the 4 digits.
You can join Facebook groups that make geographical sense and gently list products when and if appropriate. There's online commerce sites such as Shopify. They're very doable, requires a lot of setup, and the fees can add up pretty quickly. And evaluate if it makes sense to do it. You can, not even sure what I meant right here when I listed this. So list products for sale on your business website. Some in-depth details. A lot of people are worried about how hard it is to get a website set up. It's very easy. If you go to some place like Wix, you can get an easy to build website. You can get a free one, which would be like your business name at wixsites.com. You can also get a domain to go along with it for some reasonable hosting, and you can build a website. It just does not take a lot to do that. There's WordPress.com. Also has services like that will be very useful for you if you're just trying to get a website up and running. Just having something is more important than not having anything at all. Let's see here. Google Business Profile. This used to be called your, I forget what it's called right now. But if you go to your Google Business Profile and you put in all of your information, then when somebody goes to Google to search, they don't even have to go to Google Maps, just go to Google to search, and they put in, sawmill near me. If you're on Google, if you have a Google Business Profile, it's going to show you in the list. And so they'll be able to see which ones are close to them, which ones are far away. But this is where everybody goes. We all know we go to Google, we look for whatever it is that we're looking for, we put it in, and it'll show us, okay, it's right here. We pick which one we want. It shows you hours. You can have additional information in here. You need your email, your phone number, address, pictures, list of services, anything special. You need to fill out every single thing you can on your Google Business Profile and do it as well as possible. Take some time with it. Really make it right. So as you're looking to get a little promotion, the way that Google is doing this is if you have a YouTube channel and you've got YouTube videos, Google is going to recommend those before your website. They're going to recommend them before anything else because it's a Google property and they want you on YouTube, so they're going to recommend it first. Basically, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be polished. Just record something. You need to show your face for a little second because Google doesn't really like the faceless YouTube videos. So just show your face for a minute. You don't even have to have a long drawn out where you're showing your face the whole time. You can always narrate this over. You can record and then you can add audio later to describe what it is that you're talking about. So moving on from that, you have directories, like for instance, these two websites here, sawmillsandlumber.com, which is mine, sawmillfinder.com. You can find sawmills in all 50 states. There's local sawmill directories. For instance, I did a search, and like in Pennsylvania, there's this one here. In Virginia, there's this one here. It says sawmill.directory, but the only sawmills they list are sawmills in Virginia. And if you're not in Virginia, well, that's not useful for you. Wood-Mizer has one. I noticed that this particular site here, this is a long URL. You could go to sawmilltrader.com and search, but if you went to this particular link, it would show you people that have sawmill services. There's custom niche products that you could sell and promote. For instance, like the stakes that's made by Two Brothers Outdoors. I mean, this is made by they're made by two brothers, but they're used by surveyors and who else was it? Somebody else you mentioned. Anyway, contractors or something.
Yeah, landscapers.
Landscapers. So we're going to need this all across the United States. So this is a niche product, but Two Brothers Outdoors aren't going to be doing too much in California. So that's just an idea. I was thinking today, like local artisans. I know a lot of times people are doing repairing old buildings and they need beams and different things like this. So maybe reach out to those type of people so that they would contact you. I'm just trying to think of what can we sell that's just not the standard, 2x4s, 2x8s, or whatever. Just something maybe a little bit more profit. And I really don't know that side of things. I was just thinking about it. I'm more knowledge on the computer side of things. So I know that there's people out there making tongue and groove flooring, siding, molding, and people buy it. So once you've gone through and you've done all of this, then you'd be ready to see where you could improve. But I would say start there. Once you get all that lined up, the very process of doing all that is going to teach you. You're going to learn about things. You're going to have ideas, and it's not going to seem so bewildering to you because you're going to be very familiar with it. So that's just kind of a summary of what I was thinking. There's this is available on the forestry website at. I'll tell you what that URL is here in a second. You'd think that I'd be a little bit more prepared. Where did I put it? I'll put it in the chat later. But that kind of summarizes what I was looking at.
Oops, where'd you go?
I can
put you back on stage.
I could say, John, that since you had us do a Google business and we put our mills on the map, we've had quite a few interactions from Google itself.
That's really great.
Yeah, since we set up the business page.
And that's absolutely free, guys.
We get a lot of people calling us just off our YouTube videos. They see what we do, and yeah, we've had people come from hours away just to buy our stuff.
That's
So,
awesome.
Eric and Matthew, do you guys have a business Google page?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I've got a website built, waiting on a guy. He sent me a preliminary on it. He's going to come by next week. I wanted something a little more high end. Actually want every video that we produce on YouTube to hit our website. It's going to be a little more than your low end budget one. There'll be a monthly maintenance fee, but I see the value in it, not only from growing our YouTube business, but growing our sawmill business.
Yep.
People nowadays, we're the same way. If I was in Florida a week ago, and if I wanted to do anything, hey, Google, restaurant near me.
Yep.
Right.
Everybody does it. So you got to have it out there. All your Google stuff is generally free. It can sometimes be a little aggravating, but once you get all your data in there, it's there.
Well, I was very shocked how much interaction we've had from Google, and we've only been on there since last month when it was suggested to us. So it's done well for us.
Yeah.
It's put us on the map.
John Chapman, to elaborate a little bit more on your sawmills and lumber, what would somebody have to do to go in there and list their sawmill?
Basically, they'll just go to the website. They'll fill out the form to become a user. I'll approve them. I'll move them to the category of being able to create a directory listing. And then when they log in, it'll be there in the menu option for them just to go create a new listing for themselves. And then they can just fill it out. They can upload photos. They can do the description, address, phone number, all of the important details. And they can come back and update it anytime they want to. They can add more pictures. They can increase, they can add more to the description. And it's a very straightforward process.
Yeah.
So is it just sawmills that you have on there?
No, there's sawmills. There's people that, like, if you sharpen blades, if you have a kiln, I think that I've got a little bit of breakdown if you do mobile sawmilling or if you're stationary. And so there's a few few categories that you can pick because you may be in multiple categories. You may have people come to you, you may do mobile milling, and you may have a kiln, and you may sharpen blades. If you did all four of those, you could select all four of those, and then people can actually drill down. They can drill down by state and area and also pick the services that they're looking for.
That's
I'd
awesome.
add, the newer you are in the business, the more of this you need to be involved in. We've been doing it long enough that my greatest advertising is word of mouth, but it don't hurt to add some more for gravitas and different things. But I'm not looking to pick up 1,000 leads a month off of Google. I don't need them. I don't need tire kickers. Most people call me, hey, John Q. Smith told me you did this, did a great job. I need to call you. Gotcha. Come see me.
Absolutely. Well, John, thank you very much. That was very informative.
Thank you, Rick.
And your website, sawmillsandlumber.com, is a great idea. Make sure you check that out. Get listed on his website, because when that takes off, people will be able to find your mill and your services through that website. And it's absolutely free to register your mill, right, John?
Yes, sir, and always will be.
Okay.
So John, when I can't remember who you listed to sell like your products through. You listed like Shopify, or who did you?
You're talking about just now today when I was
Yeah,
talking?
yeah.
I was saying that Shopify is one you could go with, but
Okay.
their fees are going to add up. You know,
Okay.
it's like it seems really easy. You could do that, but I think that plus you got the shit. I don't know. I think that's something that you could use, but I'm not sure that it's really going to be an attractive feature.
Okay. So I haven't checked into Shopify yet. I went with a different one. I went with
I use it for our hat sales, and the fees do add up.
I went with
But
Fourth,
it gives me an
Fourth Wall.
international audience.
I went with Fourth Wall, and what they allow you to do, they still allow you to make all the hats and the T-shirts, you know what I mean, and all that. And their fees, they take a high portion of it. But I went with Fourth Wall because I can also list a piece of lumber on there. I can list lumber on Fourth Wall, and somebody can come in, buy it through Fourth Wall, and I can either specify whether it's shipping or pick up, and their only fee is a 2%, credit card fee, 2.1, or I don't know, 1.95, 2.2% credit card fee with Fourth Wall, and that's, I haven't sold a bunch of lumber on there yet, but that's
one thing.
nice being able to do that as a sawmill.
Yeah, that's one thing John didn't add to his list was the accessibility to take credit cards. Now, I fought against it for years, and probably 2 years ago, I submitted to getting a Square account, and I recommend anybody in the sawmill business be able to take a credit card.
And there's also Venmo, Zelle, Cash App.
Yeah,
PayPal. Yeah, there's a lot of people asking us about that stuff.
whatever you choose, today's society, you got to be able to take a credit card, or you're going to miss out on a lot of accounts. A lot of my commercial customers, it's easier for them to just put it on a card, and cost of doing business.
Mm-hmm.
I
Absolutely.
had 3 customers come by today on a Saturday. 2 of them paid with a credit card. It'll be in my bank account Monday. That's fine. I'll take it.
Yep.
Kyle and Kendall, you guys can just chime in. You're already running a business, so I know you're doing all this, but you can chime in here anytime. You're just going to have to jump in with us and fight for a second,
Yeah.
Well, we can go ahead and introduce Kyle and Kendall. Kyle and Kendall is with K&J Lumber. They're our guests tonight, and they can explain to us how they got started, what got you in the lumber business, and what inspired you to get started in sawmilling. So tell us about yourselves. Go ahead.
Sure. Well, thanks again for having us here tonight. So I am the second owner of this company, kind of. Originally, when I was like 21 years old, I started working for the Pallet Man was the name of the company at that point in time. After working for him for like, I don't know, I can't remember. I think it was about 14 years I worked for him. Then I bought him out, changed the name over to K&J Lumber Products. And then probably 3 or 4 years. How long have you worked here, Kyle?
Yep.
About 3 or 4 years ago, I went on a limb and I hired Kyle. And he knew nothing about wood at all. And so, but he said he could sell things. So I believed him. And it's been a good thing. And then Kyle has really taken off on the YouTube channel and on just developing our website. And he's done a lot of different good things for us. So it's been real good.
Where are you guys located?
A lot of people think that I'm the K in K&J, and I have to quickly tell, especially when they want deals or discounts. They really come at me thinking I'm the owner, and I have to remind them that I'm just a sales guy. Sorry, no free lumber here.
Now,
Just
if
tell
you got,
just tell them you're the owner, and there's still no free lumber.
there you go.
Yeah.
If you guys out there have ever caught their YouTube channel, Kyle's a comedian. I enjoy watching their YouTube channel. He brings some life to it.
Yeah,
Makes it entertaining.
I firmly believe that we got to make it more fun and entertaining. Otherwise, there's channels like Mr. Beast and Mark Rober and multi-million channels. We're fighting for space on the home feed. So not only are we fighting to get, we're trying to come ahead on the sawmill and lumber niche. We also got to fight for space on the home feed against every other YouTube channel out there. So we just I tried to come at it in a way, looking at ways to try to reinvent the niche and make videos in a way that is more entertaining. Because like he said, I came into this 3 years ago, didn't know anything about lumber, but I did know that a lot of the lumber videos that I watched were kind of boring. So I had to take it. And I'm not saying you guys' videos are boring. That's
Yes, you are.
That's what he's saying.
That's why you're here.
Don't watch
I know.
us. Don't watch us. Watch K&J Lumber.
Wow, did you guys just create a bee's nest?
We're like a toddler on YouTube as far as our experience level.
Yeah,
So,
pretty much.
We don't know much. But Kyle calls it edutainment. We try and hit a topic that maybe people don't know much about or people are interested in whatever it's lumber or sawmills. And then Kyle tries to kind of make it a little entertaining too. So it's something for people to enjoy.
Yeah, as long as we try to make it a little bit better each time, just upgrade it by 1% each time we upload and publish a video or do something differently, we're making progress.
Yep.
I think it's a great idea for a sawmill to run a YouTube channel. If you're selling on Marketplace, different things, I always send a link to your YouTube channel. That way they can see who you are, how you act, how you behave before they ever come and meet with you, if they want to. I think it's a great thing.
And that's going to build trust as well.
Exactly.
Eric and Matthew, one of the people down here asking, what about the credit card feeds? Do you add that into your prices of your lumber?
Not normally. If somebody's going to buy an exorbitant amount, a couple $1,000 worth, I will tell them up front there's going to be a fee if you don't want to bring cash check. I'll take your credit card, but at a certain point, you got to have a cutoff. $5, $10 here, there, whatever it's cost doing business. But when it gets up to the $90, $100, $200 fees, I'm going to add those in.
Gotcha.
We add a 3% fee with our credit card. We just do it on all card sales.
It's just
See, I won't tell you what I add. I'd just rather take cash.
cash is always better.
Cash is king.
Cash is king.
Yep.
Right. I mean, so if I'm taking your credit card fees, that's income taxes and you know what I mean, all kinds of stuff that I don't normally have to.
Well, that's what I try to explain to them when they get up to that dollar amount is, look, guys, if you'll bring me a cash or a certified check, you're saving $300. I said, you're not giving it to me. You're giving it to the credit card company. I said, now, if you want to give me an extra $300, I'll take it. But,
Cash.
you know, you're going to pay the $300 or I'm going to pay it. Well, I'm not paying it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Now, the one thing I find very interesting on your YouTube channel, Kyle and Kendall, is the beast of a sawmill you have. You want to talk about your sawmill a little bit?
So we have, or I have, I actually have two of them now, two Heartwood double cut band sawmills. So it's a 6-inch band with teeth on both sides. So we're able to cut both directions. Unfortunately, Heartwood is no longer manufacturing. Kind of the offshoot from Heartwood is now Select Sawmills, and they just recently started building mills again. One of the things about my mill is that it's, you know, brand new. A Select mill it's got to be around 100,000 starting out at base. So they're fairly expensive. So your average small time guy isn't going to want to spend that much money on it. But they're not necessarily what a huge sawmill wants either. Kind of in the middle. And I think those particular manufacturers struggled with that for a little while. But Select is back manufacturing again, and I'm hoping maybe the next few years, if I can get a building up for my sawmill, because we saw outside right now, that I'll get a brand new Select in and switch over to electric. Currently, we're cutting with diesel fuel, which is good. I'm not complaining about it, but if we get in a building, it'd be nice to have electric.
Yeah, keep in mind, chat, that we are in central Minnesota here. So in the middle of January, when we're cutting outside, it gets pretty nipply out there.
Yep.
Not that Kyle would know because he's sitting inside the heated office.
So, Kendall, do you guys sharpen your blades, or do you send them out, or?
I sharpen my blades for years and years, but I send them out now and have them serviced. So one of the things about our blades is they're not offset tooth like ours. Ours are actually sweat. So we've got, you know, it's definitely more work, but I mean, it's expensive to have them sharpened, but I mean, what I came up with is the time that I don't spend sharpening, I'm sawing, so I'm producing more, and it just works out better.
So do you have to have a special sharpener for that, with it being a double-edged tooth? Or do you just roll it over?
Basically, the standard sharpener, the saws, the teeth are like this, and then you invert the saw. You just flip it inside out and flip it over, and it can run back. And generally, the way the tracks are, the teeth don't cause problems as far as the sharpening. They just sharpen the side, you invert it, and then it goes along the other side. It doesn't seem to dull them or anything. It seems to be fine.
I'm like Rick said, I'm just fascinated with your mill. How many board feet you think you get of blade before you have to sharpen it?
Well, we get about. It really varies on the logs, how clean they are, what species.
Right. Yep.
Somewhere between, if I'm cutting white oak, maybe 1,200 board feet. But if I'm sawing aspen or pine, I might get 3,000 on a sharpening. Wow. And then on a band, I should get at least 20 sharpenings.
Gotcha.
I mean, I kind of count on getting close to 50,000 board feet on a band.
Wow. How long are your bands?
They're 19 feet, 4 inches. Yeah.
Are they 6 inches wide too?
They start at 6 inches wide, and I can run them down to about 5 1/4 before they get too narrow for my wheels.
Now, just out of curiosity, how much does a band like that cost?
Gosh, they just went up $337. And
wow.
then it's 337. And then it's about $75 a sharpening now with sweat shape and sharpen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you say they were running a 0 set on those?
Yeah, so they're not set. They're swedged and shaped. So the teeth are actually fattened out. You swedge them, they fatten them out, and the shaper comes in and shapes that tooth into a profile, and then they sharpen it. So like my band we run an 18 gauge band, but then he swedges it out to like 105 thousandths in the summer. In the winter, we go down to about 100,000, go a little thinner in the winter.
That's what I'm running on my 70 is 105 thousandths.
Yeah. Yep.
There's actually, we have videos on our YouTube channel where we kind of highlight those bands. We just did a sawmill video earlier this year about just kind of highlights our sawmill. I remember doing a section in there where we got close-ups on the teeth and the swedge and shape design there. So you guys, I mean, anybody that's watching, you can head over to our channel and check that out if you.
One thing that's really nice about that swedge and shape is that it pulls the sawdust out. You have bigger chips, and then it pulls the sawdust out. So like in the winter, especially, we don't have problems with sawdust on our boards.
Yeah.
So it's really nice in that respect.
Well, you're tough sawing in the middle of winter in Minnesota. We're in a building. We're not in the rain, but I get people all the time. Well, you need to heat your building. I said no. When it gets that cold, I'm gonna heat myself in the house. Tomorrow's another day.
Yeah.
So
we will run down to about 0, or if it doesn't get above 0 on the day, it's probably not worth fighting.
I don't mind the cold. It's just where we're at in the wintertime, the wind blows through here, and that wind is wicked. The cold is irrelevant, but you get a 15 mile an hour breeze, we're gonna close the doors, work on something inside, or go to the house.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. As the oldest Sawyer on this forum and living in the Northeast, I heat my building as warm as I can get it.
Well, I agree. The room we're sitting in is our motor room, and in the winter we'll close this door and the one out front and turn the heater on.
Sure.
I'm not afraid to work and it warm.
Yeah.
Selling lumber inside here, I also heat this building as warm as I can get it.
They have the salesman good cold.
Nice.
Well, it's possible this fall we're going to put up a shed for the mill. We'll see what happens.
I'm hoping that happens because it gives me an excuse to not only I can film it, and then also we will be moving some operations around, and that'll open up some opportunities to have a slab room in our kiln dried warehouse behind me. Behind me, we've got a warehouse that's full of kiln dried finished grade lumber. By the way, if you're watching anywhere local here in Minnesota, come check us out. We got kiln dried lumber along with our rough sawn. There's my
that's his
right
salesman pitch right there.
But yeah, we get a whole. There's all these opportunities that open up for me, so I'm excited about that building.
I've also got a 5-head wood miser resaw that we use when we're cutting thinner boards. We don't use it a lot, but we do use it a little bit. And I would love to get that run in tandem with my mill and kind of turn my mill into a head rig.
Now, if y'all want to see a shed, you need to go look at Craig's channel. I don't know how he gets any work done. I'd be standing there on my sawmill looking at the beautiful view out across the mountain. He needs to put up a shed just so he can't see the beautiful view and he get his butt to work.
I'm spoiled that way.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but Craig's running on about half the oxygen the rest of us run on.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
So where do you guys advertise? Where do you do any advertising besides YouTube? Besides,
All right, Kyle.
Yeah, that's my wheelhouse. I'm not only with the YouTube. I call myself the YouTube monkey around here. And not only do that, we have a website, knjlumber.com, for all of our local sales here in Minnesota. And then, of course, we run marketplace ads, listings all the time for lumber. And I think that's one of the best ways that we get between the YouTube channel and then marketplace listings are probably one of the top 2 ways we get lumber sales here.
We get stuff from Google too.
Yes, and then I was gonna say Google. We do run some Google ads in the winter time here when sales pick up, and then we kind of pause them in the summertime. We also have a TikTok channel. We're on Instagram, we got a Facebook page. We dabbled in other stuff too, like newspaper. We did a radio ad.
We did a radio ad once, which was a waste of money for us, but it was fun.
It was fun. It was fun to be able to go to a radio station and pretend like we were big deal, you know. Pay them to pretend like we're a big deal, yeah.
Legend in your own mind, right?
Then we do physical banners that we hang on our gate, while our chain fence out there just has banners that promote our kiln dried lumber. Because we technically sell 5 different products, right? We got our rough sawn of our logs that we sell to the public. Do a lot of trailer decking and blocking and other rough sawn products. And then we do custom sawing of our customers' logs. They'll bring their logs in, and we'll custom saw that at a pretty good price too as well. And then of course I mentioned the kiln dried finished grade lumber in our warehouse there. We've got 20 plus species in stock, including tongue and groove profiles. And we work with local people because we don't do any kiln drying here on site. We work with local milling places that will dry our lumber and then mill it for us, and then we'll have it sent back to where we can sell it. And then of course we sell our byproduct too. So we got our slab wood bundles. We'll sell sawdust and then blocking the end cuts, the cutoffs that come from our runners and face boards for the pallets that we make, which is our main bread and butter. And I like to say that those 5 products will take it, and then we'll line it up and shake the customer's hand with it, or punch.
So
our pallet sales are actually one of our biggest. That's our largest.
That's the main bread and butter.
Income.
So when you cut up customers' logs and you hit metal, do you charge them per blade?
I charge $100 for every nail I hit, which doesn't really cover my blade. But a lot of times if I hit a nail, I'll lose a couple teeth. They can weld teeth back on. If my blade's cracked, they can weld them. I mean, it costs. I always say nobody wins when I hit metal. I don't win and the customer doesn't win.
Yeah.
But I actually have a metal detector because a lot of times on custom sawing logs, I'll scan the logs.
This is a point. Chat, listen up too. This is a point that I've literally want to tear my mustache off about. Whenever I see a video of somebody hitting metal in a log, right, and go to the comment section, and they're all talking about does metal detectors cost more than saw blades?
Yeah.
And I tell them it's hard to get this point across to those people that not only do you have to have a metal detector, you got to have a guy that's standing there scanning hundreds of logs per day. And you're paying that guy to stand there and scan all them logs, over a longer period of time. It's probably cheaper just to buy a new blade.
Yeah.
Also, I think it depends on how deep that metal is too, because if it's pretty deep, I don't think that detector is going to detect it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually hit
through the middle either way.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, if you ever decide to rip your mustache off, give me a call.
I had one time I was cutting.
And make sure the camera's running.
We have a question from Brett. Let's see if I can put it up on screen.
Slab wood bundles are you talking about? What kind of slab wood bundles are you talking about? I guess I don't really.
So the slab wood, when we say slab wood, and I don't know if everyone's familiar with this, but our slab wood is just the outsides, the parts of the log, the parts that we don't use in the sawmill, any edgings, if we edge off bark, all those things. And so we kind of differentiate our slab wood bundles into 2 different categories. We have softwoods, which is obviously pine, but then we also lump in popple and basswood and cottonwood, any of the real low density hardwoods.
Aspen.
That's popple.
That's not.
That's pretty close. It's called the same here in Minnesota. And then our hardwoods are all like the oak, ash, maple, pretty much. Walnut or cherry or any of that stuff is all.
How big's the bundle? How many in the bundle? And how much you said it was?
We shoot for about 2/3 of the cord per bundle. And right now we sell our softwood bundles for $10 because I really want to get rid of them. And our hardwood bundles are $75 a piece. And we've got dry ones for 1 or 2 years. Oh, softwood. I mean, we usually sell softwood bundles at $25 a piece. And I tell people for the money, the softwoods, you're going to get more BTUs for the money, but it's obviously more work to burn because you got to burn more of it. But
yeah,
we burn
You're in a good market, Minnesota.
Yeah, well, the last couple winters have not been good. It's been way too warm.
I can't give away free waste around here because people quit burning wood. And I don't blame them. If I could get natural gas to my house, I'd probably never burn another piece either. But there's no market here anymore.
Yeah.
And then that question.
Yes,
there,
we do
are
deliver
you
bundles, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
What's
we
that?
deliver.
I did see a comment earlier. Someone asked if we cut black ash. Yes, we do cut black ash.
When we
Yes,
get it.
we get it. What the thing is they might be asking because of the emerald ash borer beetle that's currently,
Yep.
we're actually in that quarantine zone for that. If you know anything about it, but it's devastating the ash population around here. The University of Minnesota is working with the Department of Agriculture. No, the Agriculture.
Oh.
To try to figure out ways to get more resistant black ash species to more resistant to that emerald ash borer beetle. But I hope crossing the fingers that it works, because I would not. Ash is quickly becoming black ash, as a matter of fact, is quickly becoming one of my favorites, and I hope it doesn't go away.
They're going to lose a lot. They had said there's 1 billion ash trees in Minnesota. I'm sure you guys from the other states have already probably experienced it.
Yep.
Out the woods. Oh, I recognize you out of the woods. The channel. I've seen them around before.
Yeah, our metal detector goes about 6 inches in. We can metal detect. I mean, you get 99% of it if you can scan logs, but it just takes time. So I usually, and from most of the loggers I buy from, they're pretty good about not throwing in logs. Yeah, they look for it too, so they know it's not good for me. So, but it happens.
Now,
Eric and Matthew are experts at finding those nails, those long pine logs.
What's
now
that, Paul?
Eric and Matthew are experts at finding the nails in the pine logs without a metal detector.
Yeah,
They got a big bucket full.
The log, it got thrown back off the mill and burnt.
Yeah, it's cost doing business, guys. I inform all my new customers, look, your tree may or may not have nails in it. I know it come out of the middle of the woods, but if you're on the east coast of this country, somebody has lived here hundreds and hundreds of years before you got here.
Yep.
The property we live on, and my mom's dad bought it in the 1930s from the people that homesteaded it in the 1900s. Well, in the 1830s, they were mining gold here. There's been people on this property for 200 plus years. There's trees with nails in them. Okay, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Nails.
In Minnesota, everyone's got deer stands.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. Gosh. Deer
they're
stands.
everywhere.
Yep.
And they always got to pick the straightest, nicest tree in the woods too.
Oh yeah, not a limb for 100 feet, and they climb up there and put their little screw hooks in it.
Yep. I was just going to say they're screw hooks. Yep.
They rust off, and then you find them.
Yeah, those deer stand pegs, those are blade killers.
Oh, I guess.
Around here, though, we got some of the original power insulators that were run back in the 30s and 40s. They get stuck in the middle of a tree. You ever run into one of them? It's scary because your mill just stops. It doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
We hit that about 40 foot up in the tree, maybe like 6 inches from the heart of a 25-inch log.
Yeah.
Wow.
Woo. You find everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
You want a metal detector? Buy you a sawmill.
so we are about 45 minutes into this. Holy cow, we haven't even started. All right, we better get to the subject. Let's get to the subject here.
Get them questions, brother.
Yeah, why does lumber cost so much? That's the topic here. So everybody in chat, what's the worst price you've ever paid for lumber? Everybody in chat, what's the highest price you ever paid for lumber?
Come on, guys. Let's see.
And then
Don't put 50 cents either.
and then we're just gonna ask Ken and Kyle. I mean, why does lumber cost so much? I mean, what's the cost? Just go through the cost of it. The everything, the logging, the sawing, the selling, the taxes. You know what I mean?
Well, inflation just trickles down, right? My insurance went up $20,000 more last year on the property. The labor's gotten more and more. Yeah, I know it was painful. Believe me, I didn't know what to do, and that was actually I ended up switching companies, and because the other company wanted to go up 40,000 more. But that's a cost, right?
Yeah,
it's a big cost.
Fuel, which is up and down and all around. You never know, but labor cost. I got to pay my guys better to keep them around. I don't like turnover. I don't have a ton of employees, but there's 9 guys here, including Kyle. So I got enough guys. You got to pay them well, and you know what? They work hard, so they should get paid well. It doesn't bother me. We build pallets. Nails keep going up. Trucking keeps going up. Loggers. I would not want to be a logger. And those of you guys who log, man, the equipment that the guys run here, I mean, it's so expensive, and they're breaking stuff all the time. They've got to produce a pretty high volume of wood to make any money, and it's like, ooh. So it's just expensive on that end. And I'm not a giant mill that produces 100,000 board feet of pine a day. We're cutting a lot of hardwoods. I mean, the process is slower. So, and a lot of people are buying custom stuff. Well, guess what? Custom stuff takes longer to do, and so that costs more too. I got all kinds of reasons why it costs so much, I guess. I remember when I used to sell like white oak trailer decking 16-foot stuff for $1 a board foot, and I thought I was making all kinds of money. And now we're charging twice that. I feel bad, but gosh, by the time you get done paying extra for them long logs and quality logs, and then you got to saw it, and then you throw some of that lumber away anyways because you find something in there that doesn't work.
Yep.
And like I said, it's amazing. I mean, my dad always said when I was a kid, it takes money to make money. I didn't understand it until probably, I started my own, took over the business, and I realized, man, it takes a lot of money, and then when it all goes through at the end, you get a little bit left over. Hopefully.
You're selling white oak for, what'd you say, a board foot?
We do like our white oak trailer decking stuff. We're doing $2 a board foot right now.
Oh, trailer decking. Okay. How about kiln dried? The hardwood, the nice whatever quarters. Just a rough price. I'm not going to quote you on it.
Our 4-quarter price, straight line, hit or miss planed, will be $5.50 per board foot.
Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty standard across the country.
Yep. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now your trailer decking, you're not providing number one quality. They're going to get 2, 3, right?
Well, here's a unique thing about us. I mean, I do cut some rustic white oak because people want it. But so my primary product is pallets. So any low grade lumber, anything low grade goes in my pallets.
Oh, that's nice.
I tell Kyle, like, oh, we need this. Like, well, I don't know when I'm going to get it. I could saw, like I sawed red oak and white oak today. I didn't save a single board. But if I get in a nice run of logs or I get a nice log, I'll pull a few boards off of it of real nice lumber when I can. But I could go a month without saving a board, and then on a given day I could save 500 board feet because I'm in a really, some really special wood.
Yeah.
So I only save
I normally grade it kind of the other way. If I'm picking out a log for trailer decking, I'll pick a 2 or 3 log and save number one for somebody that's wanting a slab or flooring or whatever. But you're sawing more because you got an end use over here at the pallet mill. We do the same thing with pine. I saw a ton of pine, and you could make T&G ceiling boards out of any grade of pine. It don't matter. The more knots, the prettier. So I understand where you're coming from. We do the same thing, but we do it with pine, not oak.
Sure.
Now,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question about pallets. You say you put pallets together. I haven't been around a pallet business in quite some time, but I know like 20 years ago, a pallet company was running razor thin margin for profits. Is it still that way now?
Yeah, it's definitely a higher volume high volume, low margin business. We build some specialty skids for steel companies, so they're big and heavy duty. They're putting like 8,000 or 10,000 pounds of steel on every one of our sheets of steel on our pallets. So our little pallets are 4x8. Our big pallets are 6x12s. You know, and they got 4 stringers or 3x4 stringers. They're very heavy duty. I'm in a niche market as far as pallets are concerned.
Okay.
But yeah, and it's not a high margin, it's a volume thing. You know,
Right.
I always tell the guys first 1,000 board feet in the day, and we cut maybe four. We had a 5,500 on Thursday. That's a pretty good day. I said the first 3,000 feet is just for me to break even. So gets on, boys.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep.
So what was the next one? So I guess that kind of answered that question, didn't it?
That was a tip for John.
You versus a lumber yard. You know, you ever tell anybody to go to the lumber yard instead of you? Do you ever?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever tell?
Someone calls
That's
up.
half my job.
Yeah. Someone will call up looking for plywood. We don't make plywood.
And we're very niche
Yeah.
product.
If someone calls me and is like, hey, you know, the 2x4s at so-and-so are really expensive. Can you cut them for me? I'm like, I can, but I don't want to cut them cheaper than what they're selling me. I just go buy from them. You know,
Right.
by the time I get done with
The only 2x4s, 2x6s I volunteer to cut is if customers bring me a log, and then they're only paying for the saw bill. They're not paying for me buying the log, and then come out okay. But if you're wanting 100 2x4s, I'll tell you to go to Lowe's. You get them kiln dried cheaper, and they're ready to pick up today.
yeah. Oh, I agree. Unless sometimes you get people who have old barns or something where they need the full.
Yeah, if you want a true 2x4, then you come to the right place.
Yep.
I can't get enough of the way you Southern people say 2x4.
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 Mm-hmm. 2x4.
If you come down here and cause trouble, you get a 2x4 upside your head.
Wow.
Out.
So do you ever do any availability? You know, is there a walnut that you're short on and you do a price is high on your walnut? Do you ever do any of that? Like during the winter you sell walnut cheap and during the summer you sell it high, or when you get walnut do you sell it cheaper or higher? Is there any of that? None? I'm just asking. There doesn't have to be.
It depends on what it costs us to get it. Honestly, we cut very little walnut up here. We're at the very northern edge of its range. So I actually bring it in. I bring it in from one of the millwork guys brings it in from Pennsylvania or Ohio, and then I just buy it from him, and then we just have to mark it up to make some money.
And really, with walnut, especially black walnut, it's just a convenience for some customers because if they're coming to buy walnut, I get them in to show them the white oak. I get to show them the red oak, the quarter sawn lumber, the cherry that we have. We show them our maple products and everything else. So that, it keeps them in mind so that when they, we're not really making much of a margin off the walnut, but hopefully they'll come back for other products too.
Yeah.
Have you guys considered adding a kiln to your business?
I only have so much time in the day. That's what it comes down. And the two guys who are local, they do a great job and they know what they're doing. And so we got a pretty good business relationship with them. And so I'm just happy to keep it that way for now.
Yeah.
So you farm out to a kiln.
Yep. The kiln and the milling. So we don't do any milling here. We have a planer that we don't like to use. So
I tell people if we started doing that, I wouldn't be posting videos anymore. I'd just be planing all day.
There are days I'd much rather run the planer than the sawmill.
Yeah, well, that's good because in your market, you're providing work to other businesses, kiln drying and finish processing your lumber.
Yeah,
that's great. I got a guy here locally that runs a retail storefront, and we'll do some odds and ends for him. That's going right in his storefront, and I don't mind it. It puts money in my pocket, puts money in his too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We kiln dry public at other Sawyers as well.
one thing I found, at least in our area, I mean, a lot of times you think of like, oh, businesses, like other sawmills are my competition. But most of us have our own little niche.
Yep.
And it drives Kyle nuts because he'd be like, whoa. I'll be like, well, we don't really do that, but tell him to give him this guy's number. And he's like, well, but we're not selling anything then. I'm like, yeah, we'll give them their number so they can make some money. And then when they run into a customer, they can recommend them back to us for the things that we do.
Yeah, we're not in competition. We're all in business together. And
We got a bucket in there of cards for all the other guys around us that do different stuff.
yeah, we don't mobile mill anymore. If I get a customer that just absolutely got to have it, I got a couple guys. I say, look, here, call these men. They'll come and saw it, and then you can haul it to me, and I'll dry it, and I'll motor plane it for you, and you take it back home.
Hey, Eric, can you read that questionnaire for Kyle and Kendall? The one up on the screen?
The one from David there.
Oh, been selling 2 before, 8-foot bundle of 165 for $500 here in Northern Missouri.
2 before. Yeah.
Yes, it's a 2 4.
I'm like wondering where is he going with this?
Hey,
You guys are the ones that said you like to hear 2 by 4.
Southern slang because he's about 1,000 miles away. If he's here close, he'd shut up.
Oh,
I don't know if he's got enough sense to shut up.
no, I do not.
I always tell, I have people come and if they don't like our prices or like 2x4s, I'm like, well, if you find someone cheaper, go with them. Do it.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And when they go out of business, come back to us.
Yeah. Or the best is, well, so-and-so sells a bit. Okay, great. Well, I'm not, well, why don't you get more from them? Well, they don't have any more. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, well, do you want that white oak trailer decking or do you want to wait for that guy to get more logs? Well, he hasn't gotten logs in 6 months. Oh, no. What do you want to do?
Crazy.
Yeah.
I run into that a lot.
Yeah.
Right up the road, they're selling 4x4s for this price. I said, well, go
Go
get
back
them
up
up
there.
there. He doesn't have any. I'm like, well, then I don't know what to tell you. You can either pay my price or you can wait for him.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't
we
negotiate pricing. When you ask me what something costs, that's what it is.
Last thing we want to do is race to the bottom here, folks.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
I sell my lumber at a number that I'm comfortable with, and that may be cheaper than somebody else, and it may be more expensive, but it's a number I'm happy with. And when I tell you that number, that's it. There's no volume discount. Now I've got some rainbow poplar come out of the kiln over here the other day, about 30 slabs. The only discounts you're going to get is if you buy 30 and they leave here and they're out of my way.
Yep. We do a little if you get over 100 board feet of kiln dried lumber, we'll do a 5% discount. And I think if you buy 500 board feet, 10%.
They're the same.
Yeah, that's like a bundle though.
Yeah, same.
A bundle price where we can just pick it up with a forklift, set it on your trailer, and wave you by.
But that's in face. That's person to person, and they're placing an order. They're spending money. That's not on Facebook Marketplace discounting your product.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
I usually tell customers all the time, you make it easy for me, I'll make it easy for you. The minute I'm standing around for 2 hours while you're looking at one board, it's going to be tough for both of us.
Brett asked if we're afraid to lose a customer. No, I don't want to lose any customers, but I'm in a profit-oriented business. If I can't make a profit, why am I here?
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's not up to you to tell me what my profit is. I know that. It's up to me to tell you a number that you can buy my product that I'm happy with. And if you're happy with it, we'll shake hands and you got a thing to go home with.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, you get a mirror. I've had people come in and you dick around for, like Kyle said, for an hour and a half or whatever, and they leave buying one board. The next guy comes in and says, well, I need some, 4-quarter cherry. Well, I got a little leaning up there. Yeah, that'll all work. Loads his truck. He's gone in 10 minutes and just spent $400. And you're like, man, you want to talk about a world of difference there.
Yeah, we like those kind.
We love it.
I know who I want to come back.
Yep. I tell you, I learned a lot about sales when I started selling lumber the first year. I came from commercial cleaning sales to lumber sales, and that's a world. Commercial cleaning is a world where they don't haggle. You just tell them the price, and then they go. They either buy or go away. Whereas, this is a retail customer, and these older gentlemen, they like to haggle with price in the lumber industry. And I was just blown away. I'm like, oh my! Every time I try to make a sale, everybody wants to undercut everything. And it's quite like night and day difference in the lumber industry.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Well, and everybody, if I give you cash, can you do less?
Yeah, you don't have to pay tax.
I know. I get it.
Yeah,
That's the number one. That's the number one question I get is like, can I get a cash discount?
Yeah. So, price is the
Now-
discount. I tell
Yeah.
Kyle.
Truthfully, Kyle, isn't most salesmen cleaners?
Oh, he disappeared.
They're mostly commercial cleaners. I've ordered some decking for my trailer. Chat says I've ordered some decking for my trailer. I made a mistake. I ordered it, and when it's too thick to go into slots on the side, and thinking about a cheap electric planer.
That or they could just, if they got
Just
a belt sander,
call your local sawmill. There's a grizzly sitting right here. We'll run it for you. And I'm sure these other sawmill guys have got a planer. They can run the whole deck or those two boards. Ain't no spending $600 on a DeWalt planer when they set one sitting right here. We run by the hour by the board foot.
Yeah. Just do a Google search, local milling near me. Bada bing, bada boom.
Exactly.
Yep, that's what John was just talking about tonight.
Now, what's nice is when
There you
somebody
go.
orders,
Sawmillsandlumber.com.
Correct.
yeah.
Mr.
what we
Planer
like is when
and-
somebody orders 2x6s or 2x8s, and then they come back and they're like, they're too thick. And I'm like, well, we can put them back on the sawmill for you and bring them down to 6/4, but it's going to cost you some extra money.
Well,
We like those kind.
I'll be honest with you guys. I don't use the quarter system because our wood miser, just like everybody's sawmill, saws on the 1/16 of an inch or 32nd. I ask people, what do you want? Do you want a 2-inch by 4-inch, or do you want an 1.5 by 3.5? I said, we cut the exact dimension you order. What do you want? Well, some people have the assumption they say I want a 5/4 board, and they're expecting you to give them an 1.5 inch, give them a 3/4 inch. No, I cut what you want. If you want an 1.25 inch board, that's what I'll cut, and you can take home with you. It just alleviates that issue at the end of them not getting exactly what they wanted.
Oh, yeah. We got customers come in that don't understand the quarter system at all anyway.
No, right.
Yeah.
Correct.
If you ever read up on the quarter system, it varies from area to area. People say, I'm cutting 4/4 boards. Well, they're actually cutting them at 5/4. Well, why didn't you just say 5/4 boards? So I don't do it. I don't talk to my customers in quarters. I talk to them in inches and fractions of inches, and we get down to exactly what they want.
Brass tacks.
Yeah. We do the same thing, especially on trailer decking. Well, what do you want? Do you want a full 2-inch? Do you want 1.5 inches? Like, tell me what you want, and then I get, and you pay for what you want. You only get an 1.5 inch. I'm only charging you for 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
If you need the 2-inch, well, you got to pay for the 2-inch. Like it is what it is.
Yeah. I tried to when I got in the sawmill world, and I couldn't make sense of it because the rules weren't the same across the country. And I'm like, we got an inch scale in imperial. Let's just use it. It's simplified.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cut all my hardwoods. Well, I shouldn't say that because I don't cut them all. But for kiln drying, I stick with a 5/4 board to put in the kiln, a 5/4 hardwood board. But I've been cutting a lot of it at just right at 1 inch anymore.
It depends on our end use. If I'm cutting red oak, white oak that I know I'm going to make hardwood flooring out of it, I prefer 1.25 inches. In case it does something wonky, I got enough thickness to thin it down. And if I'm making a 6-inch board, which is truly 6 and almost 3/8 with the tongue, I like to cut them about 7.5. So I got a little room to edge it, before we get down to the final dimension.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how much wood you waste when you do milling or paneling or flooring.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's profound.
Well, if you're shooting for a 6-inch board and you don't cut enough green width, well, now you're making 5-inch boards. And you're throwing away even more. And it depends on the species. Now, pine around here, we cut pine at 1 1/16 inch. And if we're doing 6-inch boards, I'll cut them at 6 1/2. And that will make a perfect 3/4 by 6-inch board. But there's not much shrinkage either way on pine. But oak, sweet gum, maple, different species, you got to add in the shrink as you're drying that wood.
Yeah.
And
I think that's another aspect where people don't realize where the cost of lumber comes into play because it's all about how much lumber or how much fiber is in a piece of lumber and how much fiber has been taken away from it. Starting from the logger that brings the logs, the sawmill has waste. And then after it goes down to the kiln, there's some waste there from shrinkage. And then it goes to milling. There's some waste there, sawdust being made there. And then when it gets to the customer, back to us and to the customer, they're looking at this board with an audit. They see they got to cut that away. And they're like, well, can I get a discount because I'm not going to be able to use this? Right? And I'm like, well, I'd like to, we'd like to account for the costs that, for all that fiber that was taken away beforehand. You know what I mean? That's why. And then they're like, so they wonder why lumber is so expensive. It's because we're counting for all the costs of the fiber that's in a sawdust pile out back now.
Yep.
And I'm just passing it down to the customer. So,
well, and you run into like even the grading of first and second or select and better.
Yep.
Well, I can't use the whole board. Well, yeah, but the grading is only 85% needs to be used. So
Correct.
if you want to pay for the next level up, I mean, sure, but it's just interesting. But and then the more people that have done woodworking, usually the better customer they are.
Yeah, usually people that know the woodworking, know the process, they understand it, and they're like, okay, yes, I'm willing to, we pay it and load up quick. It's the newer people, the people that don't really do it that often, that are really try to, become cheapskates at first, and then eventually they learn later on.
Well, I use the example. If you want a 1x6, 8-foot long, perfect, go to Lowe's, and they're about $80, $90. Okay. They're $12, $15 a board foot. I'm selling you a 8-foot board that's 90% usable. Will it fit your needs? And it's in the $6 board foot range.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
the same product, but Lowe's only sells that number one grade, and you've been there when you went and got one.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing how expensive. Here we have Menards, but I go in there and look at their board price line. My jaw just drops open. I can't believe how much they charge. They're wrapped in plastic, I guess. So they're nice. S4.
Do you guys have any poplar in Minnesota?
So we have what we call them poplar. We have aspen. We don't have poplar from up west.
Well, down here we have a lot of poplar. If you go to Lowe's, the majority of their white wood that they sell for molding, trim stuff is a poplar or a variation. And that stuff is just off the charts expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Lord have mercy. We sell a ton of white pine, yellow pine here for, like I say, tongue and groove, V-groove, exterior siding. And it's a product that Lowe's don't carry. They don't carry any kind of rough cut dimensional lumber for an exterior use.
Yeah.
But
now we have a type of aspen here, and the bigger trees, almost all of them have rot in the center. Do you have that issue out there in Minnesota?
Oh yeah. So the quaking aspen are just about junk. As soon as they get to about 10, 11 inches in diameter, then they get we call them punky. Right. Minnesota, so in the last 100 years, has been a pulp, right? And so they clear cut aspen stands, and then aspen regenerates all the roots. But the quality of the timber that comes up behind the original growth is pretty low. if you can get into what we call big tooth aspen or yellow popple, those can grow really nice. But still, I mean, yeah, we cut a lot of 10-foot material for our pallets. I buy 10-foot aspen, but I tell you what, loggers got to be in the right woods.
Yeah.
If the quality isn't there, they won't cut any of it 10-foot because they end up with 2-foot chunks that got to go to the pulp mill, or they lop 2 feet off and they end up with a pile of 2-foot chunks. So they don't like doing that. So yeah, quality on that. We got some out of Wisconsin a couple times. Oh, they were like barrels. They were just huge. Every one of them, they were oversized for the pulp mill. So they were like 16-inch plus. And they were every one of them was just beautiful. White, right down to the pith. Just amazing. But that was like 7 years ago now. So
Yeah.
Now, since you run a pallet mill, do you box the heart on your oaks, or you just run it right on through to use it as pallet material?
It's a good question.
yeah, I'd save a little tiny bit of jagged lumber unless it's a really special log. Otherwise, I'm just sawing for pallet parts that I cut right to the pith. I don't have to worry about that at all. It's not a problem.
That's a good business model, because you shouldn't have any waste, because if you can make something of a board, you can nail it down to a pallet, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like the grade mills around me. I don't want to say I feel sorry for them, but just my business model is so much easier because I can get decent money for my, once we put it in a pallet and ship it, you get decent money for it. It's a very consistent market. We ship pallets every week. So I never have a problem getting rid of my low grade. It's the high grade sometimes piles up in the shop there because I cut too much red oak and it's really nice and no one's buying it all of a sudden.
Yeah.
We've seen a turnaround on the red oak. People are buying red oak again now.
Do you have species up there that you can't use? Like down here in the South, we have a post oak, a pin oak. I just seen a comment about it. And these lumbers are useless for anything other than pallet building. Sweet gum, like that's out there down here. You have any kind of trees like that in Minnesota?
Well, cottonwood.
Cottonwood.
Cottonwood is one. Don't get me wrong. For pallets, I love it. It's awesome. They grow big. They grow straight. They have hardly any knots.
You like that smell?
It stinks. Yeah. The one that really, have you guys ever saw it's Balmagillium is what they call it up here. Balmagillium, or there's another name for it. It's a member of the popple family. It's really hard. Actually, it's a pretty dense popple, but it smells terrible. Even worse than cottonwood.
Does your red oak stink in Minnesota?
Our red oak, we have true reds. We also have a lot of pin oak, which goes pretty much into pin oak. Doesn't grow very nice,
No.
Especially in the sand. We got a lot of sand in our area just south of us. So if you get pin oak in the sand, it doesn't grow very good. In fact, half the time it won't even make pallet lumber. It's just so bad. It's just firewood.
Fear Not Farm just commented something that sounds just like us. He's got sawmill 3 miles. Can't get them to do any work because they're backlogged with pallet lumber orders.
Sounds like
us.
Sounds like us.
Yeah, we got orders piling up, and it's tough to do them because we got commercial obligations that come first over the retail. So,
well, you guys are in almost a commercial application to start with. That leaves room for other sawyers in your network to fill the gap.
Yep. I actually have a guy who does portable sawing. I bring him in to do some work for us for my customers.
Yeah.
And then I don't make as much, but at least I can service my customers when I'm too busy.
Yep.
So that works out pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. Like you say, if you're making pallets, you're not searching for that walnut or that quarter sawn white oak or that, when you can do pallets all day long.
Yeah. Oh, I love quarter sawn white oak. It's one of my favorites. So if I get a nice log, I usually block it up and get a little quarter and rift out of it. So that's what makes the one thing about pallets. They're great, but they are monotonous. If you can break it up and save a little bit of nice lumber off of something, some 8-quarter white oak or quarter saw, or a few cherry logs or a little butternut. Like that makes it really interesting for me. That's what I really like.
And that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah, you can cherry pick the best pieces of that log and send the rest of it into pallets, and you kept the primo pieces to use or sell. I like it. It's nice.
Yeah, it's been good for us. So Kyle's got a whole room full of lumber though right now. He's got to sell some more. We're getting in the winter, at least in Minnesota. I don't know about down south, but I mean, in the winter is when people do woodworking. They're kind of stuck in their house, so they buy wood in the winter. So we'll start selling a lot more kiln dried lumber here in the next couple months.
As a matter of fact, we're in big with the Minnesota Woodworkers Guild. I don't know if your state has their own Woodworkers Guild. I know there's a Woodworkers Guild of America, and I highly recommend that the chat or anybody get to know those people in the Woodworkers Guild, because those are your customers essentially. So with that being said, a lot of those woodworkers, whether they're in the guild or whatever, they're get locked up and get kind of antsy in the summertime. They want a springtime. They go out and they're going camping. They're not in their shops. They're in camping, fishing, and then by the fall they get hunting. And I say usually after deer season is over with, then that's when this kiln dried lumbers will pick up.
Let's see. So we're I couldn't. It's just different, being in a. I thought about going into something like that, pallet or railroad ties or something like that, and there's the difference. There's not a standard, but there's a quantity you got to meet. You know what I mean? It's every month I need 3 semi-loads or 5 or whatever. You know what I mean? And I was like, I don't want to be there. You know what I mean? I'm glad you guys are doing it, because that's not what I want to do. I would rather, take my time and find that, piece of cherry, that nice piece of, white oak, or that. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to be on a schedule like that either. So
pallets are like a double-edged sword, right? On the one hand, they're great because they're every week all the time, and then when you want to take a week off to go deer hunting, or you want to go up north fishing, or you want to do something, guess what? You still got to do pallets.
Right.
Like to just they're a blessing, and I wouldn't say they're a curse, but they're just you got to do them. You got to be there. You got to get it done. So
that's what I say about owning a kiln. It's 7 days a week, twice a day, till you're tired of running it.
So,
but I wouldn't want.
What would be the question there? What would be the recommended sizes for stock, or should I just cut to order? Cutting to order is always good, and at least when you're starting out. And then once you find out what people want in your area, then you can start to stock it. But Kyle, good example. This is Kyle will be like, "Guy, Kendall, people looking for rough sawn white pine. Can you think you can cut some?" And then a week later, they're still. We really need to get some rough sawn white pine. So finally, I cut some rough sawn white pine lumber, and it sits outside for like a year and a half because no one wanted it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
that's easy. That's easy enough. Just take it out of his paycheck.
Only cut.
Somebody that wants, I'll get like 5, 6, 7 calls for cedar tongue and groove. The very millisecond we have it in stock, nobody will call me for it.
Right. Only cut and inventory what you're willing to market and try to sell.
Yeah.
And you got to find a niche. Our niche here is 1-inch boards, particularly pine, yellow pine, and hardwoods. And I tell people I'd love to have a building as big as Lowe's full of lumber, but I don't have one yet. This is what I got. If that fills your need, come and get it. If not, come place an order, and we'll get what you need.
Yeah.
Correct.
Our problem here, there is no flat ground. You have to dig it out or fill it in to make it flat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We don't cut any dimensional lumber except by order.
Oh no, I don't keep 2x4s, 2x6s. No.
Nope.
I will cut them.
We do kind of. We do sort of.
Kind of, sort of.
For example, if we get an order for trailer decking, right, and it requires 2.5 logs, but we cut into that and fill the order with 2.5 logs. The other half of the log will cut into standard sizes for trailer decking and stock it out in our yard there, and then it builds up over time. We'll have customers come in and pick through it to do, planter boxes and other trailer decking too, but other stuff that white oak could be used for as well.
Yeah, so, you get the guys who need it now, and you're like, well, I don't have 18-foot 2x10. Sorry, but if you want to go out in the yard, you can pick through and you can probably piece it together if you want. So otherwise, if you want to wait 6 weeks, we'll get 2x10s for you. Yeah.
I like the ones that call and they got to have a 20-foot long 2x8. I'm like, you do realize it's a whole lot cheaper if you buy a 12 and an 8 or a 16 and a 4. Well, I got to have 20 foot. Now, let's calculate it. Well, it's about 50% more at 20 foot than a 12 and an 8. Which way you going to go?
Changes their mind, huh?
Yeah.
Well, my favorite question to ask every one of those is, who else did you call first? Because nobody carries those random sizes that people want around here.
Yeah. I understand. I try to be very nice about it. They called asking, and I tell them, okay, it's not available, but I can make it for you. But they always call in right when they need it. Well,
yeah.
Dude, that's the same problem I run into all the time. It drives you nuts.
Yeah. Well, people are they assume you're a lumber yard, and they can call you and be like, yeah, I need a 20 foot. Longest we can cut is 20 feet. Also, that's the longest I can cut on our mower. And they assume you've got it laying around, and it's like, no, I hate cutting 20 foot. It's the last thing I want to do.
Yep.
So I only do it when I absolutely have to.
Especially if you have a log with some stress.
You move green 20-foot 2x8s, you've moved something.
Yeah. Especially when it's white oak.
Yes, sir. Gosh.
Oh, man.
Dude, Brett Majura has a really great question here.
Yep.
He's asking, what's trailer decking size typically? Now, usually you'll have, because just like you were talking about earlier, we do true to size lumber here because it avoids confusion. The nominal size is whatever. I hate it. So we'll do 1.5 inches true to size, which is most trailer deckings. And then for the larger trailers that are hauling, huge loaders or something, then it'll do about a 2-inch.
Full 2-inch.
Full 2-inch size. And you'll have 1.5 inches by 6 inches or 1.5 inches by 8. And you'll get those guys that want the 10s or the 12s, because then they'll think that'll cover more area, then they got to do less fastening, which is true. But then you'll run into cupping problems, and
Yep.
I don't like going wider than 8 inches on trailer.
It just drives me nuts because they think they could cover more area with less fasteners and do less work, and you just break it up.
That goes to what we was talking about before. If you can use an 8-inch board, but you're wanting a 12, okay, I'll price you a 12. A 12 is the select. It's not the same price as an 8. And when you give that select price, they're like, oh, that's expensive. Well, I told you to put 8s.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had a customer last year, one of our local places. He deals with a big electrical company, and occasionally he'll call me and say, hey, this so-and-so needs some trailer decking. And it's not unusual, so we'll cut it, basically sell it to him, and he'll sell it to them. He said, I need XYZ, 2-inch, whatever, trailer decking. I need it kiln dried and molded planed. I said, you what? He said, yeah, this guy wants his trailer to look good. So we had to do a whole trailer deck, 2x8s, kiln dried, run through the molded planer, and they put it on a trailer that they load a bulldozer on.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
That makes sense.
Whatever. I give you
It
was a big bill.
There's a good question for everybody right there. What's the longest board you have sold?
24-footer.
On a
Same here.
20-foot mill.
On a 20-foot mill?
Yeah. I don't recommend doing it.
There is a
I'm not
video,
doing
and
it.
it is not recommended.
What's yours, John?
20, right at 21.
21?
That's the longest I can do. Wood Miser
Greg?
does 21-inch board.
27.7.
27.7.
But you can do almost 40 though, can't you?
I haven't hooked my extension up yet. And I can do 33 when I do that.
I'm sending them on that guy.
Yeah,
Paul?
there we
You
go.
call long over all the time. I'm sending to you.
Yeah.
Out of the Woods says 30 feet.
How
I
about
actually
19
watched this
19
guy
feet?
on a YouTube video last week. He had some modified chainsaw mill or something. He did a 50-foot board or something.
Holy crap.
Oh yeah, we
50.
got
Wow.
the Alaskan mill. We can cut it as long as they bring it, but nobody wants to pay that price.
Longest one I've
No.
seen, I think, is Hobby Hardwoods out of Alabama. He did a cypress was like 48 feet long.
Ooh.
Wow.
He had 3 mills tied together, and then his outfeed table was like 60, 70 feet long. It was
Huh.
That's
I
Jake
hate to know
Dean.
what he
There's
charged.
the guy down in Georgia.
That was Jake Dean.
Was it
JT,
Jake?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It can be done. We want an extension for this 70 so that we can get up into the 24, 25 foot range because there's a lot of timber framing around here. And if you can cut a 24-foot beam, you can timber frame a big house. That'll make a very wide truss.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, what was your longest?
19 and a half feet. I'm a little
18 and a half.
T15.
Rick?
I think the longest I've ever done is 24. They were beams.
Kendall?
I think I can squeeze like a 21-foot 4-inch. I know I've cut it. I've literally cut them really to the right at the end. I've never tried. I've been told you can chainsaw a pass, but I've never done it. Don't want to.
Yeah.
It doesn't look
You
like
watch
fun,
one
does
of our
it?
videos, that 24-footer, we set it up there and you cut in about 4 feet, stop. And you have the rollers up and you take the tractor and pull it back 2 or 3 feet and then you cut out the other end.
Oh wow.
It's not recommended, but it can be done.
Sure. I don't want to.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Oh, they paid dearly for it. I mean, they had to. We spent half a day. I had to take my mill out of the building, set it in the yard, and we took half a day cutting 1 log or 2. I think it was 2 logs because he had to have some 24-foot stuff they were repairing an 1800s barn.
It was 24-foot hemlock.
Sure. Yeah.
And he paid. I mean, I didn't gouge him, but he paid what I would make if I was in here sawing 8-foot long boards.
Yep.
That's what I told him I was going to charge him. I said, just do a, basically by the day price.
Well,
Yep.
even those-
I'm not doing it and lose money.
No, absolutely not.
So somebody's coming to you to buy lumber, and I want to know what I can do to get it the cheapest.
Hold on a
You
second.
know what I mean?
Anybody that's in chat right now, I want you guys to head over to that like button and hit that like button for all of the respective people that are watching this. For that 24-foot log, for that 30-foot, for that 50-foot log, hit that like button, guys.
All you
By myself, I was 72 foot.
So you got somebody who wants to buy lumber.
The cheapest. Well, if you're flexible on what you can use, that helps a lot. In fact, we just had a school get a hold of us, and we shipped them some lumber really cheap.
Yep.
Kyle was probably perturbed we sold it so cheap.
Wow.
But I was like, listen, we've had this lumber in our shop for 5 years. Just get it out of here.
And then you can make more room for lumber that I can stock and can sell, which is nice. So
There you go.
Yeah.
So flexibility, I'd say that's the biggest thing. If you come to me and you say you need this, it's got to be a certain size, certain length, certain species. Well, there's just going to be a price associated with that. But if you like, I just kind of need something. I'm just trying to get something together, and you got anything that could work,
that's how you're going to save money there.
Might catch me in a good mood that day.
Yeah.
We're not sellers. We're sellers. If
That's you make it easy for us.
It's going home with somebody.
Yeah.
Now, I got a question for Kyle. When you're selling lumber to a customer and if his eyes get really big when he sees a certain piece of lumber, does the price go up in your mind automatically?
No, No, I don't. I don't gouge customers.
No, we don't.
Everybody pays the same price. I only have to remember one price. It's just
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and we're one of the few people, at least in our area, that'll publish our price list on our website.
there you
A
go.
lot of places that don't, like, you can't find a price on their website to save your life, and so we publish it that way, and we keep it that way to like he said, that way I can just keep one price in my mind and not have to keep track of all my prices.
Well, it proves to me that you're leading the industry and not following it. Everybody's following you because you're leading the industry in your area.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Brett, that is a true statement.
I just answered him on there.
Did you? Stop whining.
Now, thank God for that manual or that automatic log turner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there is no.
I love hydraulics. There's an Amish guy near us that it's all by hand. I'm like, man.
Oh, that's what we are. We're all by hand.
I was going to ask you guys if you have Amish around you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Guys,
Good hard-working
Amish
people.
Yeah, but they kind of denote the price that we can charge for lumber here, because I think every other Amish down the road here has a sawmill.
Yeah.
Same thing here.
Yeah, but
same
you
thing
can't
with
get a hold of them.
Good luck trying to call them.
Yeah. It's in our area.
The way you beat cheap is with quality. You go buy
Yeah.
cheap, and when you get tired of cheap, come
Absolutely.
back to quality.
Well,
Well,
And
the main,
availability too. Yeah, I'm
Everybody-
around here are a little behind.
the main thing they only do is dimensional with softwood. So, we do
Yeah.
hardwoods and stuff. So we basically got that market from them.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
here's-
I've honestly, with the Amish near me, I've worked with them on some stuff and told me, hey, this is my price. So, and the guy's already talked to me, so that's my price. You
Right.
can sell them whatever you want, but now you know what I was going to charge.
Well, the thing we run into is not only do they control the price of lumber because they're willing to work for a nickel a board foot, but they also control the price of how much you can buy a truckload of logs for also, because sometimes they'll pay more for logs than what they should be going for.
Yeah. Wow. They must have a lot less costs then.
Someone mentioned live edge falls outside the published price list depending on uniqueness. Who was that? Anyways, they're right. We also do something for that. We charge a little bit more for live edge lumber, anywhere from $1 to $2 on top of the board foot price that you see on our website for obvious reasons. And I'm actually doing research right now. We're going to be doing a video that answers that question. Why does live edge lumber cost more money than regular boards? So,
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
most Amish usually have a community phone, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do, but
Yeah.
never get a hold of them.
I think some of them in Pennsylvania actually have cell phones now.
Yeah. Yeah. Community phones, or they'll have like a flip phone where they don't have like internet on it, but I mean, it just depends. The ones by us are still all community phones.
Yeah.
We don't have any
Every
here
community is
in Western
different.
North Carolina.
There's some that live not even 30 miles from us.
Yeah, but they're not big in the sawmill business around here. We have more people that started like we did with a Woodmiser LT35 doing mobile milling and, trying to get into the sawmill business. And I wish them the best, but most don't make it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, it's like any business. It's not easy.
No,
When you transition from mobile milling to site milling, and you start adding different processes, edging, molding, planing, kiln drying and stuff, you went from investing a little bit in a mill to investing a lot.
Yeah.
I got
Well,
a lot
even a
more
mill
invested
though.
at my age than I dreamed of having invested.
Yeah. Even a mill, I mean, there's just a lot of associated costs. Most people don't understand business of reinvesting money and, not, oh, I did some mobile sawing today. I made $800, so I'm going to go buy a blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? Now your mill broke. You got a $400 repair and you spent your money on something else.
Yeah. I went for years. Matthew and I mobile milled. I didn't need the money. I was doing it as a hobby and giving him something to do. And so I never took any of the money. I rolled it back in and reinvested, bought more and more and more. But if you're starting out and you got to feed a family with one of these mobile milling, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
You might want to look at that corporate job and stay a little longer, get some money in the bank, and then buy a few things and start a business.
Well, it takes a while to become established where you can. I probably even
absolutely.
I bought an established business, but I still didn't take any money for the first 3 years.
Oh, that's tough.
I just read a comment on a YouTube short that says,
Oh no, John, you're not going to put it on us. No.
It's not me. I didn't type it.
Sure did. Your name's on it.
Sawmill is the best metal detector you can buy.
Oh yeah.
It's the best metal finder.
Yeah, so Sawmill is the best metal detector you can buy.
So see,
All right. So that question, put that question back up there.
Why?
Because.
why?
All right.
Why
Well,
does-
then make it John.
That's gonna be Kyle and Kendall's next video right there. We're just gonna ruin it for you right here.
I know. That's why I'm
We're gonna
asking.
ruin it. We're
Hey, you
gonna
gotta watch
ruin
the
it
video,
here.
man. I'll let you know here soon. I'm actually scripting it here soon.
There's a
So
lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is because they always want to look at the one at the bottom of the pile.
Oh, every time.
On the bottom.
the other slabs by hand to
We-
get to them.
Yeah, we had that today. Oh, I want the one on the bottom. Oh, yeah, sure you do.
Well, in our case, we had a LT35 that I could do 21, 22 inch slabs. And for me to buy a mill that would do a 34 inch slab, I invested a whole lot more money in making that piece of wood, and you're going to pay for it.
Yeah. Yep. Well, the
There's a
kiln
trigger
are
Every time I
result.
handle it, my back hurts.
yeah. They're heavier, so they're harder to handle. My kiln operator charges me quite a bit more because they're thicker.
Really?
And then we generally have them leveled after they're dried. Because believe it or not, a 2.5 inch slab that's 20 inches wide it twists, it moves, it does a lot of things in that drying process.
Yep.
And most customers, if they see a wonky slab, they're like, "Oh, I can't buy that." Well, then I got to spend $75 to pay them to level it again on top of the kiln drying. I mean, it just costs more to produce them.
Yeah, I guess it
The
would.
customer's going to say it's not thick enough now after a second planing. Love
Yeah.
that.
Wow.
If I had a customer come to me tomorrow and say, "Hey, I want to buy 10 2-inch perfect wide oak slabs.
Walking by.
Can you cut them and dry them for me?" I would cut them at 3 inches to make sure that he got a perfect 2-inch slab. And
Yep.
you probably
Oh,
do
yeah.
the same thing.
Yep.
Because out of that bunch, some of them's going to roll like a banana. Oh,
Yeah.
If you don't
Hard
have
maple are some of the worst.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's painful what they do when they dry. They really twist bad.
Now this poplar, I sold a guy 3 slabs today, and he bought the 3 top boards. Okay. But they laid pretty flat. They had maybe an eighth of an inch of crown in it. It wouldn't take much to flatten them out.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, but that was poplar, and I had them, bandage strapped. There was 2,000 pounds of wood weight on top of them in the kiln. I did everything I could to, keep them compressed. But if that was hardwood, oak, they'd still move.
Oh, yeah. Hardwood, I don't care how much weight you got on them. They'll
They'll
do what they're going to do.
So
Well, see, I find the hard maple statement. Hard maple is one of our best slabs. They're the ones that don't move as much, and I
Really?
think probably white ash is the absolute worst. They always split.
I
Yeah.
find walnut slabs always.
Walnut
And they-
slabs are painful.
yeah, they asked why it costs so much. Well, I cut 30 slabs. I hope I can sell 30, but I may not be able to sell but 25 because 5 of them crack, split, or they bananas the bad. There's just no value there. So I have to put that cost into the other ones I'm going to sell.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Species.
I like this comment.
Cherry.
Yeah, I hate
Bad.
cherry.
What's that, Craig?
I said I like this comment. The milling way you go about milling is gonna go about playing on how your boards react to.
Where's that one? Did I miss it?
Try that in English, Craig.
Sapwood left on board will cause warping.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you want a live edge slab, you got to have sapwood.
Yeah. You want live edge, you're gonna get most likely get the bark, and you're gonna get a lot of sapwood.
I'm sorry.
Easy now,
What's the
Tim.
matter, Tim?
That's
What's the matter,
funny.
Tim?
Sapwood, live edge. Nothing. Oh man.
It's
You
a
guys
family
can
show,
win.
Tim.
So, and I mean, you can get 2x8s. You can get 4 feet wide in your kiln, or whatever your kiln is. But a live edge slab, even no matter how straight it is, there's gaps in there now, and you can't dry that 4. You know what I mean? You can't kiln dry that 4 foot now. You're not at a solid 4 foot. It takes up more room in your kiln. That's money.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
And they're heavy. You got to move them by hand. Somebody's got to pay for the bottles of Advil.
Yes.
I generally don't do live edge. I do some 12-footers occasionally, but I prefer 8 foot because 2 of us could pick up a 38 wide 2.5 by 8 and move it. You get much bigger than that, and it's got tractor road all over it.
Yep. Yeah, they're heavy.
Yeah, they're
So
heavy.
there you go. Let's just go through with that question right there, everybody. Tim, Rick, what other equipment do you have runs along with your mill?
Log arches, tractors. What else we got, Rick?
Chainsaws,
Trailers,
ATV.
debarker.
ATVs, debarkers, yeah, chainsaws,
You got to
You
see
get
it
one
now.
sawmill unless you got a chainsaw addiction.
riding
Yeah.
sawmills.
We've got an in-feed and out-feed deck. In-feed for logs, out-feed for lumber, and then we have an edger that we run next to it too. We can run all the boards right away through it.
What is that noise?
Somebody's echoing.
Right.
You were echoing.
We're right airport near us.
You guys got a UFO over your head or what?
No, that's either a cargo plane coming in or probably some kind of military aircraft flying over.
Oh, okay.
They changed flight pattern earlier this year, and they're all the time now. It's crazy.
Paul,
So-
Andy, what do you guys get?
Mostly the handling on the side of tractors to move the logs around, get them up on the mill. Just added dust collection and that sort of thing to make it a little easier on us. But skidding winch as well to make things a little easier.
Well,
How's
what
that
was
dust collection doing?
Yeah, that's
That
what
was
I
good.
gonna say.
Keeps a lot of it out of my nose.
Does it?
Yeah, I know.
What is it?
Did you solve the trailer problem or no?
Collecting about, I'm guessing about half in the trailer, and the rest is just going blowing away, which is fine too.
Well, John had a good idea with his trailer, didn't you, John? You're blowing it right in the back with the high sides.
Yeah, I blow it right into an old grain wagon.
Grain
Put a
wagon.
tarp
Yep.
right over the top of it, and then haul the grain wagon away. It doesn't come out of there as easy as corn, but you know.
Paul's going to figure that out.
We just blow ours in a corner, and every couple months go over there with a bucket on the tractor. Take a day to move it all.
Greg, what do you got extra? You got a bunch of stuff.
Craig's got all kinds of stuff extra.
Yeah, he's got that woodmiser connection.
Nothing you guys haven't mentioned.
Whatever.
Oh,
Got
really?
edgers and firewood processors, and
He's got a
You
high
got-
dollar wood splitter
you got-
now too.
you got maw.
And you got to touch it one more time with the firewood processor.
When did you get a firewood processor?
It's a splitter, not processor. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Splitter.
It's
By
processing it. It's processing it. Give it a little bit.
Kind of.
So I haven't seen any videos about that, Craig.
There's
Haven't
one.
seen any- there's
I've
one,
been
is
super
there?
busy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, super busy, huh?
Yeah.
All right. What else you got? You got the Woodmiser planer, don't you? Well, you got an edger, don't you?
I've got the MP260. I run the MP, the EG100 that Eric and Matthew run.
Oh, I forgot.
Got
We got the
setter.
band sharpeners too, right? Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I got
band
sharpeners.
sharpeners,
Yeah, I forgot about
I
that.
sharpen my own stuff.
2 setters.
2 setters. Yep.
Just one setter.
I got a 4-legged debarker.
I got one of those too.
You laugh. She had one stripped all the way down for me today.
Lord have mercy.
I think I know the reason he asked that question, because he just bought me a edger, and I just got it put together today or yesterday.
Did you?
I thought you've had an edger.
Yeah, I did. Had it for a long time. I just got it put together. I said on a trailer.
Oh, you.
What kind
Just
of
put
engine
it
you got? Now?
It's the EG100
Okay, did you get the gas or electric?
gas.
Gas one.
I'm all gas here. I'm still 2-phase power running into the house. So
Oh, Rick, we forgot about the stake sharpeners.
Well, the
Yep.
EG100 is single phase. It requires a 30 amp circuit.
okay.
The
But
biggest thing that I like about it is you
Yep,
can
stake
control
sharpeners.
the in-feed and out-feed speed on it when they're electric. But
On electric, what?
the EG100 electric, you can actually control the feed speed on it.
Oh,
the
Just
Yeah,
idle
gas-
the gas one down to slow it down, Matthew.
yeah, it comes in handy when you're doing thicker woods or hardwoods. You can turn the speed way down and slow your throughput to let the. It's a little underpowered to try to do 2-inch stuff, so you got to slow the feed to get it to go through. It's one of our next big upgrades is going to have to be to the not the 200. Is it 300, Craig?
Pardon me?
What's the next one up? Not the 200. Is it 300 or 350 acres they make?
The 300's electric.
Yeah, I would have to look at the 300 for the next upgrade.
I ran a couple oaks through on the first day, and it did fine.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
2-inch.
you got brand new blades. Wait till they get dull.
Yeah. When they're sharp, they go through nice, but as soon as they start to get dull, boy.
It takes
Well,
a
you
lot
just-
of horsepower to rip them edger blades through when they're duller.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you'll
if you
enjoy
run-
it. It's a
Well,
great
yeah.
secondary tool. You can switch the saw blades out for just regular 10-inch table saw blades, and it's a great straight line edger to secondary process wood to take the bow out of it before you run it through the edger or sell it to the customer. Because unfortunately, every piece of wood does not dry straight. They all seem to bow a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Huh.
Right? Are you right here? Rita's Hardwood. You going to the Paul Bunyan show, Rita? I know you're not far from me. I think Craig's going, aren't you, Craig?
I'm going.
All right. Craig's going all the way from Utah. He's going to the Paul Bunyan show.
I'd love to, but
maybe next year if we can get an invite for somebody like Woodmiser or something.
I invited. Oh,
Craig
that's also
invited you.
you got to be invited by the royalty.
Believe
Eric?
I hear you,
But
but
they'll be there. Russ will be there all 3 days.
oh really?
Yeah. Daryl said he'd be there Friday.
You flying out, Craig, or are you going to drive out?
No driving. I'm taking out wood.
I
Taking out
talked to him
wood.
this week about that. He said it was 25 hours straight through. I'm like,
No, it's 1 day, 3 hours.
that's 28.
just 28 hours.
28 hours.
So you stopping here, Craig? You spend the night here on your way out or back?
It's not. Is it on the way?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's right straight on the way.
If it's on my, I'll send you my route. See how close
Okay.
we are.
Okay.
I'll bring you them tables
Bring me them tables. Which ones? No.
for your edger.
Oh, I got tables. I don't have the Woodmiser tables, but I got
He
some
just
rollers.
he just hasn't got them put together yet.
Yeah, maybe you can
Well,
help
we're
get that
working.
edger together, Craig.
I love the extension tables on the edger. They're a must for me.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. If I had more room, I'd put a 12-foot roller frame in front of the end feed. It's okay for 12-foot stuff, but you try to add 16-foot stuff, the table's not long enough. It needs a longer table. Right?
I gotta say, Two Guys Timber Framing. I like your videos, brother. They're really interesting.
Yes.
Oh,
Just check them out.
Dan, Dan does excellent videos.
They were just on here last month.
Yeah, it was
Last
Yeah.
month. Yep.
Yep.
No, it was the
Yep.
month before.
No, the month
Month
before. Yeah.
Month
Good
before.
guys.
last month was that guy that was no longer sawmilling. I forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
You guys got any more questions for us? I know we're getting close to that curfew for one of the bedtime for one of those guys.
Well, let's see. We got a whole list of questions here. We can look real quick.
I think we covered most of them.
I've been keeping an eye on them.
What didn't we ask them?
John, you're muted.
Yeah.
I just looked through all the questions. I think you guys have randomly answered every question that we had, prepared for this. We've just randomly come up in the conversation. You've answered it.
Well, we had one that didn't come up. I was
All right.
supposed to ask was for Kyle. What's the best way for a new sawyer to learn how to buy logs efficiently? Who and what and when and how?
Oh, this one's for Kendall, actually.
That's a good question. Well, you're going to make some mistakes like anything.
Oh yeah, you gonna pay too much.
I would tell them buy fresh logs. Don't fall for the. I've had it drying in my woods for a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only log that saws nice.
You buy anything
After
from local tree guys, graders, land clearers, or mostly loggers?
Yeah, loggers. Loggers. They just. I mean they know how they sell to mills, so they know what they're doing.
Well, that's
I
our
have a
goal here
couple
is to get to buying from loggers, but we still have to buy from the others currently.
Yeah, I
So-
buy from a couple of tree services that I've got trained in pretty good now.
Yeah.
But and a few, I'll still buy from anyone as long as it's something I want. Though the random guy who cut down 6 trees in his yard, usually they show up and I'm like, no, just not. They're all branchy or they're rotten or they just
They all want top dollar for him too. They think
Yeah.
it's worth. They think it's worth gold.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. We know that.
There's an
Yeah.
art to buying lumber or buying logs, as well as teaching the people you're buying them from what you expect and what you need or size, length, and the portion of the tree. I tell most
Yep.
people, treetops don't make lumber.
yeah.
Once you get to the limbs, just take it somewhere else. Now I buy a lot of pine treetops because they make beautiful tongue and groove boards.
Sure.
All the knots, but I don't need treetops in white oak, red oak,
Right.
maple, stuff like that. They don't
No.
make good lumber.
I always thought buying logs from a logger was like building calluses on your hands. After a while, it doesn't hurt so much.
Yeah, but when you can call a logger and tell him, hey, dude, I need 2 tractor trailer loads, 25-foot double bunks, no smaller than 16 inches on the little end, they can fill that order.
Yeah.
Yep.
They
Well, they can actually, or they know what you're talking about at least.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
So
But I get my best deals from the local tree guys, local graders. You just got to take the good with the bad. Some of it I
Yeah.
get for free. Guys just done a one tree job. And I tell all my local tree guys, look, dude, if you're on a one tree job, put the brush in the truck, put the 3 logs on top, put your skid steer on the trailer, come by and drop it off. I'm not going to pay you for the logs, but I'll take care of the brush and the logs, and you can go on home with an empty truck.
Yeah. I got too much junk around my yard. I don't want any. Don't want anything.
Well, you sell
Kyle.
your stems. We don't have any option to sell them.
Yeah.
There's a question there for you, Kendall.
Oh, this is a Kyle question.
Kyle,
Can you?
Kendall, somebody.
That chart you mean?
Yeah, that was a cool
was-
video.
Well,
We
you
did a
short
video
one,
on.
like under a minute or something. You explained how board foot.
Well, it's under 3 minutes. It was a shorter video because I always thought that like the videos that explain how to read board footage was so long. They're like 8, 10, 12 minutes long, and really people just wanted to know how to do it. So I made a 3 minute video with an example on how to read board footage. Now, this question is a little different: how to read or use a board foot price list for beginners.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, you have to understand what a board foot is first, right?
Yeah, you definitely do. You have to. A board foot is defined as a board foot. Yeah, on the app on the phone is, but the board foot is defined as 1 inch thick, 1 foot long, and 1 foot wide. And you got to know the formula to find that. And that's there are a couple of different ways to go about it. The way I like to do it is using all of the inches. So it's length in inches times width in inches times the thickness in inches. You take that giant number, you divide it by 144, which happens to be how many cubic inches are in a board foot as well. So you divide that by 144 and you'll get how much board footage is in one piece of lumber or even an entire stack of lumber. And you just multiply, you could take your project and kind of figure out, using that formula, figure out how much total board footage you're going to need. And then you can multiply that by the board foot price that you see on the list. A lot of lists they'll go by the quarters system. And we were talking about that a little bit earlier, the quarters system, where it's anywhere close or up to that quarter inch. 4-quarter lumber is close to 1 inch. 5-quarter lumber is 1.25 inches below that, and 6-quarter and 8-quarter falling up. So you just take that, your total board footage, always add 10 or 15% more than you think you need due to waste or, God forbid, mistakes, and multiply it by the board footage price, and then you kind of figure in tax and fees if there is a credit card fee.
I tell people when they're ordering like tongue and groove stuff, if you're figuring at an inch, square foot and board foot are exactly the same. So if you do a wall that's 8 by 10, that's 80 square feet, and then 1 inch boards, that's 80 board feet. And that helps most of them understand it in a way that they're trying to relate to it right at that moment. They're trying to do a wall.
That's exactly where I was going to next. Yeah, that's exactly where I was going to next. That I tell my customers, like, if you're building with 1 inch material, then board feet and square feet will be the same thing because the definition of a board foot is 1 inch thick. It's only when we start getting into the thicker lumbers, like the 5-quarter and the 6-quarter and beyond, that's when it starts getting a little bit more confusing and a little bit more trickier, which you could just rely on that formula. I had to learn it when I first started too. And apparently, Eric, Beard Lumber says there's an app. Is there?
There's hundreds of apps out there.
There's hundreds of apps out there.
Yeah, just go to your app store and punch in lumber calculator, and I've even got a volume calculator. I can do rough cut or logs. I can walk out and measure the diameter and the length, and it'll give me a log volume.
I've even seen calculators that will take a picture of a stack. I don't know how well it works. I suppose there's a video idea right there, is to find out if some of these apps are even worth their weight in gold and figuring out if it actually works or not.
Yeah, but I do board feet every day, and I still use a board foot calculator because it just eliminates the errors, and I use one that is cumulative. I can do up to like 15, 20 different calculations and get a board foot total and a dollar total all at the same time.
Oh, nice.
Because I can punch in the length, width, and the price and the quantity, and it'll give me a board foot and a dollar total, and I love it.
Actually, if you go next time you go to a show, then there's a Wood-Mizer dealer there. They have a little slide rule that they'll give away if you ask them for one. That gives the board feet of dimensional lumber.
There you go.
Yep.
Don't give me one of those, actually.
I got two.
I got about 15 of them. I ask for one every time I go, and I usually get a handful.
Yeah.
Y'all ever have to help those people that want to deal in a linear foot and try and teach them how to use board foot instead? We got a lot of people that come in talking in linear feet nowadays because we're doing so much tongue and groove.
Right.
And guys use that to price gouge so much using linear feet versus board feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's an industry standard from where you go from lineal foot to board foot and vice versa.
There you go.
I don't know about back there,
give you
but
this one. It's an old board foot. It's actually a copy of a book, an old timey book where they used to do a board foot calculations based on the piece count and the sizes.
Wow.
So
What
you
you
got
did,
your
wrestle
lengths,
that from a
you
logger?
got your 4x4, and then you got your lengths and then the pieces count. And it tells you how much board footage is in each as per dimension. So that's pretty cool. I never use it, but it's cool to have.
Everybody has it.
Yeah.
Just in case.
In the tongue and groove world, you get a lot of people that they're pricing against you, but they're pricing against linear foot. And the retailers like to use a linear foot price because they can sell something that's $3 a square foot, but they tell the customer it's $1.29 a linear foot.
Right.
Yep.
You know, it's
So it
like buying
sounds cheaper.
a used car. It sounds cheaper. And I've tried to explain that to some of my customers, the contractors, and they can't take a board and figure the linear foot to board foot and show them that they're paying more, even though they think they're paying less.
Because most times when they're selling you a 1x6 by the linear foot, that's including the width of the tongue.
Yeah.
Where we sell it by the width of coverage itself.
Right,
Actual
right.
Yeah.
6 inches.
When I tell you it's X number per square foot, that's what I mean. Square foot of coverage. If you got 1,000 square foot times my number, there's your cost. Add in how much waste you want, 10, 15%, and there it is. Simple is always better.
We've hit that magical number, gentlemen.
Kyle and Kendall,
Right,
we
yeah.
appreciate you guys coming on tonight and telling us about your business and answering all these questions.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
I enjoyed it. I pulled up your YouTube channel. I'll be subscribing. If you get a chance, check us out at Bearded Lumber. We'd greatly appreciate it.
Don't
Yeah,
watch any of
Kyle,
our don't
I
watch
think
any of
Kyle
our stuff. It's boring.
Yeah, we're all boring nowadays.
Don't subscribe. Don't even watch
You got
it. It's
Two
just
Brothers
boring.
Outdoors. Appreciate you watching. You got Davidson Outdoors. You got all there at Adirondack.
Well, Kyle already said that most
Boring.
sawmill channels are boring.
We're getting ready for a few more videos. You can watch
Including ours.
Good job, Kyle. You just insulted everyone here.
Well, I've never known to make friends in this business.
So, what
But
do we
if
got?
you do want to watch some of our boring videos, you head over and just do a search at K&J Lumber, KANDJ Lumber, and then we're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And if you're local here in Minnesota, look us up on Google. You know, again, K&J Lumber on our website, knjlumber.com. We got our price list there and all the products that we offer. So
Well, you got that. You got that beard starter kit going. You just need to get the rest of it.
Actually, I won. I got my back there. I have the metal medallion. I won 3rd place in the mustache competition at our local fair this year. So I'm pretty proud of that.
Oh, nice.
I was waiting for the barber quartet to start breaking out there.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
that's
Kyle.
a northern Minnesota, Wisconsin thing. I got a good buddy I worked with for years, and he liked that handlebar mustache
Yeah.
from but he is from Wisconsin. Yeah.
Well, Kyle,
Well, yeah.
I find you entertaining on YouTube. I find you very entertaining.
I try to include him more, but he's so darn busy sawing. So sometimes I'm forced to do the videos by myself.
Yeah.
Well, you got a cardboard cutout of him now, so that helps.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got that cardboard. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
Kyle,
I just-
I'll recommend you for a raise. I know people.
I just like to mention too this Brett Mazur that has asked a bunch of questions tonight and interacted with us. He's got an old T.A. Smith sawmill that he dug out of the bushes somewheres, and he's just got it up and running.
Yep.
So we've been working with him, and
Cool.
pretty exciting to watch this mill running. It's come a long way.
I'm actually going to look him up right now, actually.
He's on YouTube, but I don't think he's got too awful many videos. But
It's
he's
right there,
working on
Rick. It's up there
Just
on the
brought it
thing. I
up.
put it up there. Yep.
Sounds like me.
So
Yes,
what do we got-
Craig. We need
what do we
more
got
videos.
next month? October 18th.
We've
Yeah.
got
We've-
Hudson
Hudson.
Forest Equipment, and then in November we've
15th.
got Zach with Logrite coming on again.
And
With the
December
connection
20th.
connection.
December will be Jack Beckwith. He stopped in here just a little while ago from Woodmiser. So, yep, we've got the rest of the year all planned out, guys.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and if you watch that last Zach, video with Logrite, we're gonna get a better connection this time. He says he's got a
Yes,
Oh,
he
he
promised
said
wired
us.
up connection and says he's good
Promised to have a
go this
better
time.
connection.
Yeah, he said he's going to go park right down there by Time Warner.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you guys on tonight. We appreciate you coming on our podcast here, and you've answered a slew of questions tonight. So
Yep, appreciate it.
Hopefully
Yes,
we
I'm
sound like
infatuated with your sawmill.
yeah, I like your sawmill.
Yeah, I love the forward and backward. It's great.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're glad that you joined us tonight. Thanks for coming along, and make sure you catch us in the next month. We got Hudson coming on, Zach with Logrite coming on in November, and Jack Beckwith with Woodmiser coming on in December. So make sure you subscribe to our channels, hit that notification bell, so you
Any
don't
one
miss
of us.
those. So you don't miss those guests. All right, guys. I guess this is it.
Yeah, we'll see you later, brother
Thanks,
and
guys.
sister.
All right, everybody on here, just hang tight a minute before you shut yourself down. And we'll see you after the show goes off.
All right, guys. See you later. Good night.
Good night.
See you, brother and sister.
We want to thank everybody for stopping by the show tonight. And remember, it's the third Saturday of every month that we all gather and are on the show. See you later, guys.